Well, if you are a fan of actors Nick Nolte and Robert Redford, the movie A Walk in the Woods is just the comedy for you.
Now, we saw Jim Ferguson's interview with Nick Nolte earlier this week. Now he sits down with Mr. Redford.
Well, a very good morning. Our Hollywood happening today takes a walk into the woods. After spending 2 decades in England, successful travel author Bill Bryson, played by Robert Redford, returns to the United States where he decides to hike the Appalachian Trail with one of his oldest friends, Stephen Katz, portrayed by Nick Nolte.
Oh, God, this is amazing. From here, you can see all 3 kinds of rock. There, you see that layered section across that slant? That's sedimentary. And the dark stuff, here, the dark stuff pushing up from underneath, that's igneous. Think volcanic.
How do you know all this stuff?
Well, there's these things called books.
Oh, no kidding. They're called books.
Yeah, they're like TV for smart people. See, what we're talking about here, Cass, is time. Geologic time. Hundreds of thousands of years of enormous shifting tectonic plates. It's like the world being reborn from below while it's being eroded from above.
Yeah, well, when we get back, I'm gonna buy you a TV. Because nobody gives a damn about shifting tectonic plates.
Well, I do. You know why? Because I'm curious and I love being curious. I like knowing things about the world that we're living in.
Robert, so good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Thank you, and congratulations. What a wonderful performance and a beautiful story, A Walk into the Woods.
I'm glad you feel that way.
I really do.
I felt that way also. It's a great story.
Oh. It all started, correct me if I'm wrong, by you picking up a book that you had a long time and you read it.
Yeah.
And it blew you away.
That's right. It was a book because years ago I got very heavily involved in the environment. And I felt that I found nature when I was a young person, and having grown up in a lower working class neighborhood in Los Angeles, the mountains, the Sierras, were a refuge for me, and I fell in love with them and nature. So I got pretty addicted to the idea of doing whatever I could to preserve nature. And so nature became part of my life. And so the idea of hiking on these trails was a pretty big deal.
Oh, yeah.
And because development was going crazy all around us, you know, it was just a matter of time before whatever you love was going to be developed to death. So that's how it started. But I was getting all these books because once I became an environmentalist, people were sending me book after book after book. So one of the books that I got, it was usually books that showed some form of the environment or some animals or something like that. This book came to me and it had a bear on the cover, and I thought it's another environmental book. So it just sat there. I didn't have time to read it. And finally I was going on vacation. I thought, well, I'll take this book with me. And I realized it wasn't that at all. It was really a funny book. It dealt with nature, but it also had a whole other level to it.
Humor, yeah.
And I said, I don't remember ever laughing out loud while reading a book. So I thought, I just want to make this into a film.
Well, you know, originally you had ideas with the late Paul Newman, and you bring in Nick Nolte, who, talking about humor, I thought his character Stephen Katz added a lot of humor once he joined.
Well, it wouldn't be what it is without his character. I mean, the fact is, it takes 2 to tango, you know, and his character is the balancing character for my character. Mm-hmm. And the fact that they had both been real good friends 30 years before, and had been adventurers together and messed around and, you know, trying to scam things and so on.
Never called you by your first name.
Yeah, right, that's right.
And, you know, when you take these journeys, I'm sure I've never done it, and I just have a minute, you meet a lot of interesting characters. Mary Steenburgen's character, I love her. She's so good.
Oh, she's so good. She's good in everything she does.
Oh, she is. But coming home was Bill Bryson's goal, was to get home to his lovely wife, Catherine, played by Emma Thompson.
Yes.
Am I right?
You bet. And
it was that love. It was a love story.
She's wonderful.
Isn't she?
And I love the idea. To me, it was real to show you what a really special person she is the fact that she loved him. She thought he was crazy, and said, "You shouldn't be doing this. This is completely mad." But on the other hand, if you insist on doing it, you go do it. But promise me one thing, you won't go alone.
You won't go.
And so, but basically she does support him with the reservation. She does support him. And to me, that's real love. And the fact that he is, as he goes on the trail, one of the things he realizes is how lucky he is to have a family and a wife like that. I thought that was another dimension to the film.
You want to drive the Appalachian Trail?
I came out here to be with you. One last adventure before it's too late.
You can do whatever you want, but this is my adventure.
Aye!
That's the spirit.
This is not like yesterday.
Kathy seems great, but one woman all these years, well, that can't be good for you.
Well, this new comedy adventure, A Walk into the Woods, is based on Bill Bryson's best-selling novel. Of course, Robert Redford stars as Bryson, and the film is a journey of self-discovery, loaded with humorous comedy. There are three main characters played by Redford, Nolte, and the Appalachian Trail itself. It's really character-driven, and Nick Nolte fits his character perfectly. And it does not get any better with the casting of Emma Thompson and Mary Steenburgen in supporting roles. I recommend you take the hike. It's rated R, my grade a B+. Well, also opening today, the crime thriller The Transporter Refueled and the comedy Before We Go. And I'm going to see you right here next Tuesday on The Morning Blend.